Hello, and welcome to another episode of Creating Cultures that Outperform. I hope you've been actually enjoying the series on how to increase workforce productivity. Certainly, it's super important. I'm Frank Wander, founder and CEO of People Productive. I'm here with my amazing co-host, Terry Mays. And so today we're going into actually episode 13, which is the impact of wellness on human performance or productivity in the workplace. I don't think we could say enough about this. People who are staying in shape, working out, they produce more energy. They're energized. They're in a better mood. Like when I used to go to the gym, come back, boy, be in a good, upbeat mood, feel good. And we know vibe and mood are all contagious. So not only do you feel well, you're just animating a better vibe to the people around you. And so wellness is very important. When you're talking about, is the equipment working? That's a big piece of it, right? If it were a factory, they'd be oiling and tuning all the equipment all the time, making sure it's working right, taking it down for maintenance. But hey, you're a human, just do what you got to do. No one worries about this stuff. It actually really does matter. And it's very important and fundamental to success.
Yeah.
And so Sarah, I'll let you jump in.
Yeah, I would say wellness programs that companies have really started to take off. More and more companies are starting to see the importance of having wellness programs in addition to having programs with health insurance for, all the times when people get sick and they need urgent care or whatever. That's good to have available. But now companies are also starting to provide wellness programs with mental health programs as well.
Very important.
So important, which since COVID, we've really seen a rise in mental health, just people being concerned about mental health because of what we experienced during COVID, that separation that we all felt when we had to kind of go inside and we couldn't see our family and friends. We were isolating away from each other for safety and protection. But the human mind is created, we were all created for a relationship.
Yep.
It's very dangerous to put people in solitary confinement. It's very dangerous for people to stay separated from other human contact. And so having these wellness programs that speak to our mental health as well as our physical health, it's very good thing, a very good sign that we're seeing where people are starting to get into that space where they can have rest and relaxation, taking days off work just specifically for rest and relaxation, using your time off wisely, being able to take those days when you need to for mental health, as well as just to recharge. A lot of us are in very stressful situations at work from time to time, and then some even more often than others. So that it's even more important for you to take time to recharge and refresh if you're in a stressful role so that you can counter that stress and keep the body in a state of calm. It's so important for you to not stay in that stressful state for too long, because that cortisol, and we've talked about this many times, but being in that state where cortisol is being released all the time is really not healthy for your body. It's not healthy for your heart. It's not healthy for your mind. So you really do want to be careful about that and make sure you're taking adequate time to get rest, that you're sleeping. So if you're not sleeping well at night, you really do want to talk to your doctor about that and see what you can do to help get so that you can get some good rest at night, where good quality sleep. So not just sleeping for an hour or two and then waking up, but some good quality sleep is so important. You want to make sure that you're keeping your brain well hydrated. So you want to water that you need to drink, all of that is so important. And I know we've got all kinds of things that we use these days to help us drink more water. And there's so many different kinds of water and brands of water on the market.
Unbelievable.
But it's so important. It really is so important to get that water in so that you're allowing your body to function the way that it was created to function. The body is like 80% water.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that all of the processes that happen, the systems that are in your body, are supported through water. So
metabolism requires water.
Yeah, make sure you're getting enough. And that can be an area where we sometimes overlook. We don't feel like, it really matters, but it really does. So make sure you're taking the time to get the right amounts of water and exercise. That's another
Yeah.
area.
Huge,
Um,
huge.
yeah. I was just saying to Frank how I go through these periods where I'm on the wagon and off the wagon with exercise, and I'm kind of in the off the wagon with exercise, but it's so important, and I know that. So you really do want to take time to get some movement in every single day because it makes such a difference.
Yeah, and listen, it's not just the employee. I think the leaders have to make this a priority. You've
Yeah.
got to make sure that you're not constantly loading more and more stuff on your people, burning them out. People are burning out, and it's a mental health crisis. And we know it's a mental health crisis, of course, companies, and it's good to see companies with wellness programs, but leaders have to encourage people to take care of it. And they should really try to make sure that they're not abusing these people by loading them up with too much stuff. When you have employees that really tend not to be taking vacation, I used to say, look, you need to take vacation and get out of here. It's time. You need that balance. You got to have time to rest, relax, and recharge. And those are very important because not just during the day to take some periods of rest and relaxation during the day, the human brain needs glucose and it burns through all the glucose and people become really unproductive. They don't make good decisions. We went over in one of the studies looking into the science of human productivity, studies they had done actually looking at the quality of decisions judges made in the morning and in the afternoon after a full day of work. And there was a noted difference in the quality of the work they were doing. And so you run out of glucose. People have to exercise. They've got to get plenty of exercise. You want to get out, walk. You need fresh air. You need sunshine. You need clean water, healthy food. Try to take care of your body. And as a leader, encourage people to take their vacation, to get exercise if you can. You can't make anybody get exercise, but you could certainly encourage it, especially if the company has reimbursement for gym memberships and other things, and other activities as parts of wellness programs. Yeah, definitely encourage it because people perform better. There's no question about it.
Yeah. It's so important. And you touched a little bit on just eating the right foods. These days, that's even more critical because there's so much food that's on the market that's not real food.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Fake
you
food.
really do have to pay attention to what you're putting in your body because companies now are making these processed foods that I call it food, but it's really food because
Yeah.
it's not real at all.
It's frankenfood.
Yeah, it's frankenfood. It's, some processed material that they have been, for whatever reason, the FDA has said it's okay for them to do this, but it's really not food. It's not nutrition. It's not something that's going to sustain you. It's actually hurting your body. So you want to make sure you're getting real food in your body, that you're paying attention to the labels, that you're reading to see
Mhm.
what it is. As a rule of thumb, if it has a paragraph on the back of stuff that's in it, it's probably not going to be good for you.
Right.
If you have a bunch of words on there that you have no idea what it is, you can't pronounce it, it's probably not going to be the best choice. So you want to make sure that you're being a little bit more disciplined and looking at the labels and reading to see what's in there and see, is this something that I should be putting in my body? Is this something that's going to help me or hurt me? Because the foods that we eat actually impact how we feel. And so you want to make sure that you're getting foods that can help you feel better and that can help you recover from illnesses and boost your immune system.
Mhm.
All of those things that give you brain food, all of those things that give you energy,
Yeah.
all of that can come from food. So you want to make sure that you're eating the right things and you're paying attention to what you're eating.
It's so important. Yeah. Be careful what you put in your body. I mean, food should be much simpler than it is, quite
It
honestly.
should
Food.
be.
Yeah. I mean, it was never a question what food was through history. People knew what food was. Food was food. You go
Right.
out, people harvested it, they picked it, they raised animals that were healthy. And, Terry's right. Beware of labels where you can't read the stuff that's in there. But you have to take ownership of what goes in your body, no question about it. Food matters. getting that rest, relaxation, getting a good night's sleep. This is what's going to help you perform at your peak. And you really want to be performing at your peak. You want to feel good. You want to avoid these mental health crises if you can. I think the social separation that people have now when they're working remote and they don't have enough contact with other people, that's unhealthy too.
Yeah.
You know, they've got to have their own network of people to interact with. And I think that really is super important. So I can't say enough about wellness. I mean, you know, it's up to you. Do your best to maintain your health, encourage it as a company, make sure, you know, leaders know this is super important. And, you know, if you had a factory full of equipment, you'd be making sure all that equipment was being maintained, operating at its peak. Well, the people are just the same. They should be operating at their peak as well, and are actually much more important.
Yes, absolutely.
And so, you know, now we're going to be moving on in the next episode on fun. Why fun is so important, how fun balances stress. I hope you're able to join us. We're here every Wednesday at 3:00. Hope you could join us for the next one. It's going to be a fun show. I can literally say that, Terry.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be great. So look, we hope to see you there every Wednesday at 3:00. So till then, all the best.